So I just hit live. We'll be there in a few seconds. Is Sudarshan and your husband watching?
My husband is right here.
Oh, nice.
Sudarshan has his class, his Mridangam class.
Okay, okay, nice.
So, adnala,
Great. I think, I don't know if your husband can see. I think we are live. Is he logged into Facebook?
No, he is not logged into Facebook. He's just here.
Okay, okay. Great. So, yeah, I think we are live. Hi, everybody. Hope you're all safe and healthy. I'm extremely thrilled to have you all here today, and I thank you so much for joining us on this live session. For those of you who are meeting me for the first time, this is Srividya Gauri. I'm a nutrition, habit transformation, and weight loss coach from the Eighth Element, and I'm very excited to be joined by my amazing rock star client, Hemamalini Arun Kumar from Mumbai. Hi, Hema. So Hemamalini is a performing Carnatic musician and a teacher. She is an amazing person with some superpowers like self-belief, commitment, consistency, and positivity, giving her a hand in learning some new skills and strengthening existing skills during the program. I really enjoyed connecting with her, and I'm so happy we have built a relationship for life. Come on, let's chat with her about her experience in the Eighth Element program. I hope you all find it very insightful. Hi, Emma. Thank you so much for joining us today, despite your busy schedule. I know you had a program this morning. How did it go?
It went off well. Meeting my friends after almost 9-10 months. So
wow, I understand the situation right now, right? Even to do a live performance is a big thing.
yes.
I'm so happy you could do that, Hema.
Yes.
So, Hema, I remember you reached out to me sometime in July of last year. Feels funny to say it is last year. It's already the new year now.
Yeah.
When I shared with you the details about the program, that this is not your usual diet program and I'm not going to be giving you a diet chart. And this is much more than that. You did not ask me any more questions, right? You signed up immediately. What made you take that decision? And what would you like to say to the women who are thinking twice to make that investment towards their health?
See, before reaching out to you, I first have to thank Srividya Ramnathaka, who first inspired me to, it's through her that I got to know about the Eighth Element. And first thing, I went through her story itself was very inspiring. And I went through your entire Facebook page. And I could actually relate to many of the problems, of your clients there. And what I noticed was everybody was consistent in saying they never felt like they had made any great changes. And if you read those stories, it's like it's not that typical diet program where you're given a diet chart, you start your day with some juice, and then 8 a.m. you have a fruit, 9 a.m. So it goes on like that, and or a particular type of diet. Now maybe it works. I am not qualified enough to talk about that, but uh, I was not sure if I would fit into something like that, because uh, I'm somebody who enjoys what I eat. So I was looking for a program like that where I would fit in properly, and that's when I got to know about this. And the first time I reached out to you, I think we spoke for almost 1.5 hours.
Yeah.
Where you, yeah, patiently you listened to all my cribbings, what all I had to pour, I told you. And I think that helps, because just the fact that somebody is hearing you patiently means that there is a genuine interest to help you. That actually was some instinct, in me told me that this will probably help me get better. And when you told me about the program, like what they say in Tamil, unave marundu. So I've always believed in this, because I was on medication for almost 4.5 years continuously.
Yeah.
So if somebody is telling me that all you need to do are minor changes in your diet, not even, the way you told me was just simple things. So I said, why not try something like this? I have put in 4.5 years of my life on having medicines and doing such things. So this is something that is doable, and why not give it a try? And
Mm.
I actually never had any second thoughts about enrolling myself in this program. And I kind of, I should say I was confident that I will be able to do it, because like I told you what this program is actually about,
Mm.
and probably the trust in you. So that is
Wow.
probably what, that is why I got into it without thinking twice or much about it.
Thank you so much, Hema. And I'm sure Srividya Ramnath is watching us live.
Oh,
Thank
nice.
you
Hi,
so
Akka.
much. It's been an amazing journey with Hema, so I thank you for referring her to me. So, if I were to paraphrase what you said, quick points about what drew you towards this program is sustainability. It's not one of those diets, right? I'm not going to be giving you any restrictive diets or telling you this is the time you should be eating certain things or forcing you to drink certain detox juices. It was none of that. And the simplicity of it, right? How easily we were able to integrate it into your lifestyle. It's your lifestyle is unique, right? It's not a blanket approach or a run of the mill kind of a program where everyone is handed a similar roadmap. It was never like that. So these were the things that drew you to the program. Is that right?
Yes, and that's why I said, you listen to me patiently to find out what uh, what kind of a person I am, what is my lifestyle, and what kind of family support I have, and all these things in your own way. Though it wouldn't be a direct question, kind of I knew that this is where it is, and this is probably what you're trying to gauge.
Thank you, Hema. I really appreciate that feedback. So Hema, even before you joined the program, you were already a healthy eater, right? And you were cooking most of your foods at home. I remember you telling me I rarely eat out, right? Or you
Yes,
prefer not to eat out. Everything is made from scratch at home.
scratch.
And despite that, you had your share of health related challenges, right? So, what was going on for you before you worked with me? What was your life like?
See, I think it all started with the common acidity problem that many people have. It probably, and it was there for many years, say 12, 13 years. I had the acidity problems. But somehow, and when I'm talking about 10 years back, I think I was much younger and just pulling along. And, it's normally how we do, right? You go for some home remedies and do that. Or if it really gets bad, then have an antacid and just say, okay, I'll be fine. So that is how I was, but I was at least able to go about doing my routine.
Mm,
No, I think it really hit me hard in 2015 when I went through a bad infection.
mm,
And it started with actually rashes on my legs, and it started moving to my entire body.
mm,
I had to be hospitalized for it, and the doctors were not able to figure out what was happening, because tests for malaria, dengue, chikungunya, everything came out negative. So they were not able to find out what was causing the rash. And for them, the worry was it was moving towards my head. So they thought, if it spreads to the brain, maybe anything could happen. So I was put on a lot of medication for this,
mm,
lot of medicines, and I was not in a state to even understand what they were giving me. Uh, Medicines of all sizes, in all sizes of all shapes and colors, everything was given. So I thank God that I came out of it.
mm,
But after that, it has been kind of a roller coaster ride for me, because every day it was unpredictable what would happen. Like I would be as normal as what I am now.
mm,
5 minutes later, you would just see me, feeling very cold. I would be just shivering and not understand what's happening
mm,
with me. And I would have just eaten normal food that I've been having, and I would have just had the normal routine.
mm,
So these sudden allergic reactions, plus maybe the side effects, I am not sure about that, but added problems like backache, severe backache. There was a time when I was unable to even sit on a chair.
mm,
And then constipation. These are all very new for to me, because I've never been through all this. Despite, like you told me, having a very kind of a disciplined life where I cooked 3 meals, freshly cooked food is what I eat. Hardly eat outside, and everything from scratch. I right from baking bread to everything is done at home. I I enjoy doing it, so I have no complaints about that. And I'm very regular with my yoga and walk. So it was at one point of time, even my walk, I used to struggle. So I still used to go for my walk, but அந்த தமிழ்ல சொல்லுவாள் அந்த கல்ல கட்டி விட்ட மாதிரி. So it was almost like, I was tied to a stone. And that is how I used to literally drag myself and go for the walk. So, so then again, medicines for all these problems, for the backache and for constipation, so many things, medicines for that, and then shift of medicines from allopathy to Ayurveda. So that comes with its own, they have their own set of rules that, to avoid certain food, and that oil massage. I mean, to go about doing all this every day is not a very pleasant feeling. And despite doing all this, I still used to go through the allergic reactions, and more than anything, I think my psychologically I was getting really affected by all this, and generally the pleasant person that I am, I was changing, because it was more out of worry, because I didn't know what is. So, like if my child wants me to go out, I would think twice, because what if I go and, if something happens, if I feel this sudden cold or something, what would happen? So even going on a vacation, there are times when, after going on vacation, I would promptly go and fall ill there. So immunity was very, very poor. So I felt, actually, if you ask me, I would say I was helpless is the right word when I came to you. So I was looking for a solution which would make me feel healthy. So I personally thought that yes, I had gained weight because of that, because of all this. And but I always thought that the weight gain was more because of the health issues than because of my eating, or because I was not leading a sedentary life. So I was pretty sure it's not that. But somewhere within me, I always had this feeling that I should eat better. Probably the nutrition is what is lacking. But unfortunately, when you look around again, most of these diet programs are they are more. I feel they are inclined towards the weight loss. So I was not sure whether it would really help me, because already 4 years. I mean, I've been on so many medicines and all that. So I was actually tired. And I was not sure if I would be able to do something like that, or because to make a big change was physically also, mentally also, I was not prepared for that. That is when I reached out to you, when you said that this is not the typical. And I read, of course, the stories. I kind of thought that this would be a different way of dealing. And that's why I said I'll go for this, and let me just see how it is. And today I can, with confidence, I can say that it is very much doable.
Thank you. My God. I mean, to think about all the struggles that you had to go through for almost 4 to 5 years, body pains, right? The quality of life was very bad. Even to exist and take care of your household chores and, be there for your family was difficult. On top of that, you had the allergies, you had muscular inflammations, right? I remember you mentioned on our call.
Yes, this is something that one of the doctors actually told me, that I'm going through severe muscular inflammation, but he was not. So I asked him what was the cause, and he was not able to tell me exactly what was the cause. And the thing is, all these things, I think more than the pain, it brings in a lot of negativity in your mind, because you are not sure. I mean, the kind of decisions you take, and you start reacting instead of responding, and these are things that actually, and it is not you. You are not that, but you are just unable to do anything, and that's why I said helpless is what I was.
And
So,
remember, the doctor was saying you have to lose weight, right? But then when you
yeah, that is something, that that's why I even last talk I told you, people do the wonderful job of a mirror for you, where they tell you, oh, you've gained a lot of weight. So that is something that is so wrong, because you don't know what that person is undergoing. And it's not that somebody puts on weight just because they love to do so. It just happens. And my doctors always use me, you have to lose weight. So uh, I felt like asking them, okay, the only thing that I have not done till now is probably starving. If I starve, yeah, probably I will lose all the weight. So, but it was for me, that's what I was saying. It was not particularly weight. It was as if, my strengthening is something that I never knew about until I joined the program. Okay, only when you told me that there is something called strengthening of the body, because uh, I have seen people who talk too much about diet, who would say, I'll eat only, and they will probably eat using measuring cups. So I have seen people like that, or people who are completely, that fitness freak, who would not miss a day at the gym, which is good. I'm not saying it's bad, but then, one fine day they will eat out, and then they will say, oh, I'll have to work out more. So for me, it is not wrong, but then you can't keep. It's for me. All this seems like punishing yourself or pushing yourself to too much. Because in the long run, whether it's possible on certain given days, whether it is possible, is that there's a big doubt about that. So that is why I thought, something like this, where I'm able to balance, and I'm not worried about. See, today, if you ask me on a given day, if I'm not able to do something, I'm not going to say, oh, I have not done it. What is going to happen to me tomorrow? Am I going to lose? Am I going to gain weight because of this, or anything is that is not there anymore. So I know, okay, on a given day, I don't have to punish myself. Today, I keep a target for myself to complete 10,000 steps a day. But suppose on a given day, I'm not able to do it. I'm like, okay, fine, good, okay, no problem. It's okay. So even if it is 2 days, so I'm not going to worry about that. I think that confidence is something that I have gained now.
Fantastic. For you, the balance between diet and exercise, like nutrition and exercise, was more important than focusing on either one of them, right?
Yes.
Understanding that you need to work on both, but make sure that it is a sustainable effort where you're able to keep up with it for your entire life and looking at it as a journey rather than a short term thing.
True.
Right? So, what amazing confidence now, Hema? What can I say? You know exactly what to eat, when to eat, how to eat, why I eat, and how much to eat. Right?
Yes.
Can you expand a little bit more for the audience, about what you mean by that?
Uh, See, I think a win, if you ask me, I think that is first thing that I would say, because I think perspective about nutrition and food has taken a new dimension now for me. Uh, See, right from childhood, my parents have always told me, you should eat a lot of vegetables, you should eat proteins, this. And to a large extent, yes, I have been following all this before marriage, after marriage, everything, when I'm on my own, and I've done it. But nobody actually talks about these portions and how important they are, because many times food is classified as good or bad. That is the first lesson that you told me when I asked you, is this good, is this bad? So you told me, Hema, nothing is good or bad. You just concentrate on the portions. And that is so important, because so casually we use all these words, good, bad, and all that. So what happens is, if something is good, immediately you start. It does not mean you can just indulge in it and have as much as you want. It doesn't work that way. Similarly, when you say it is bad, you either say you feel completely deprived and you say, I'm going to avoid this, you feel deprived. Or if you've had it, then you feel guilty and you say, oh God, I've had this, what do I do next? So this perspective has changed. And you see, like before the program, on a given day, say if I've cooked uh, sambar, rasam, and say potato curry. So what I would think, okay, sambar dal is there, so it takes care of the protein. And I've had my share of vegetable. Today I've had potato, so potato is a vegetable, so I've had. But then the need to include colorful vegetables in your diet, to make it first thing, to the eyes, it looks very interesting when you have different colored vegetables on your plate. That
Yeah.
is like that is something that I started enjoying thoroughly, because see I was somebody who used to eat vegetables because I had to. It was always like that, and it was not because I loved eating vegetables. And so, after this program, now if you ask me, it is such a change that I even started enjoying bitter gourd, which I used to have, but I used to literally gobble it and, okay, I'm done with it, I'm having it. So, okay, I've taken care of that. But now I've understood that there is good in that too. So let me enjoy, let me look at food as something that is going to help me out, rather than think about, too much about it, or give too much importance to the taste.
Mm.
These are all again mental blocks that I had,
Mm.
which I had to remove these mental blocks. And that's why I said that perspective has changed about food, looking at food, why do you eat, and why it is important to eat
Mm.
these things, and this positive approach does not limit itself only to the eating habits. This, if you see, can be extended to many aspects of life, and that
Mm.
is something that I am really on introspection. I think that is something that you can definitely do, and not just look at it. That's why I always tell you, this is not a diet program. So whenever somebody asks me, and even when I tell you, Srivida, don't use the word weight loss or diet program. No, this is a habit transformation program. Okay, nutrition and habit transformation, I love that. That is how I would call it, and it describes the program better, is what I feel.
So, I mean, ultimately, weight loss is an outcome of your behaviors, right? So you don't have to per se go after it. Once you fix your habits and your behaviors, it automatically happens. So I
Yes.
really like what you said, Hema. So your perception about food, the stories you are telling about yourself, your beliefs, right? And your relationship with food changed. You've started incorporating a lot of colors, so it is very visually appealing for you to eat. You're kind of having that urge to eat rather than just
Yes.
doing it like a chore, right?
Yes.
So what you eat, why you eat, you know whether you're eating for pleasure or to satisfy hunger, or are you eating it for emotional reasons. So these were things that you got to know as well. And of
And the
course,
best thing is I'm able to include everything. Like I told you about the potato. So now I know that potato also is needed. It's not that I avoid potato, but the portions are what is important. So that is what I have learned. That is the main thing. So like white rice. When I started, I told you I can never give up on white rice, because all these years I've had white rice. So you never told me like white rice is bad, or those negative terms were never there. That is something that when I think about it, the 6 months journey, you have never told me anything negative about anything. Uh, so you always used to tell me, why don't you try this maybe once a week? Why don't you try millets or red rice or brown rice? Just try it. So that actually helps, because uh, at least, I mean, I don't know about others, but the mind is such that, when somebody says, oh, please don't look there, the first thing you will do is look there. You say don't eat white rice, I'm like, even if I don't like it, I will want to have white rice. Why shouldn't I have it? That is how you.
psychology.
Yeah, I don't know if it's with others, but with me, yes, to a large extent it is like that. So when I started having millets and substitute, I found that actually these are all we are so rigid in some of in our thoughts and pattern of thinking, that uh, it doesn't help actually. So a slight change, and probably being a little more open minded, definitely makes it helps you a lot.
Absolutely.
That is a lesson that I learned.
You captured the perfect theme of your transformation.
Yeah.
Less rigid and incorporating a lot of variety and being open minded, right?
True.
I remember the initial meal pictures that you used to send compared to now.
Oh yeah.
The kind of variety you've incorporated into your meals and how beautiful they look. And the transformation has been huge, Hema. So fantastic work. I mean, to think that you were someone who was a typical South Indian meal, right? I mean, you used to prefer to eat only South Indian meals, and that's what we worked with. It's not
Yes.
like we incorporated huge varieties or gourmet foods, or you had to procure some different things and make it work. You made it work with just what you were used to eating normally, but
Yes.
focusing on your internal cues and understanding what portions work for you, and why you were eating and things like that. So we had a lot of festivals from July until January, right? What was your mindset when you celebrated those, and your relationship with festive foods? How did you handle it?
Uh, First, like I told you, I think we spoke before. I think Gokulashtami or something. I said I'm not sure how I'll be able to do it, but I told you I to the best of my ability I'll try and do all my practices. And somehow I found it. I didn't find it difficult at all, because I thought, initially, yes, I though I used to plan my food even before the program, the planning would be different. Like I told you, how it will be different. But even during festivals, actually, I never found it difficult. And many of my practices, I mean, whether be it food or the movement also. So it's
Mm-hmm.
very simple. If I've spent a lot of time inside the kitchen, I would just turn off the gas and just walk inside my house for about 5-10 minutes, which actually helped me. Because otherwise, when you feel tired, and when you actually sit in a place, you feel sluggish, and you don't want to move again, from that position, and it takes some time for you to move from that position to the standing position again. So this actually helped me, these simple steps. So like, or if I have a if some phone call is there, in fact, I've been named at home as walkie talkie now, because any call on the phone, I don't sit and answer, so I keep walking around the hall. But it helps. See, it might sound very silly or very funny, but it does help, because when you sit again to get up, it takes a little effort.
Inertia,
You're,
right?
yes, when you move around, you feel nice actually. And that, I think that energy level is much better when you move around.
So
So
that's,
festivals,
yeah.
I have managed, touch wood, by God's grace, I've really managed. And of course, thanks to you, I never found it difficult, because that is something that I thought on festival days, how am I going to manage? And actually, it happened. That is why I said, it happened seamlessly. I didn't have to put in any extra effort or anything. I just had to give it a little thought and just see how I need to balance my diet on that given day. So that is why I said, it's very simple and doable wherever you are, and whatever be it. So that's the
Fantastic.
best part.
Oh yeah, I remember those beautiful plates that you sent with Vella Chida and all the
Yeah.
other sweets that you made for every single festival. You never gave up celebrating anything just because you were enrolled in a program, right? That's what I keep telling everybody, that think of this as a stepping stone for your life ahead. If you join a program for 6 months, doesn't mean you have to switch off all the dials, and just focus on one thing. This is about learning strategies and skills so that it's going to help you. It's like a launching pad. You know, you go through everything, all the challenges, while you have the support from the coach, so you can learn all the skills and strategies and apply it. Get confident so that once you're off the program, it is seamless. It's integrated into your lifestyle already, because it's a habit based approach, right? And we also talked about a lot of those strategies, mindfulness, right? When you're eating something like a festival food, how do you stay mindful and understand what, and be, and you call the shots, right? Not the food taking control over you, but how do you handle it, using some simple strategies and skills that you actually had to apply. So I really like how you said it was very seamless, and you never felt deprived at all.
And I did have, like I told you, I did have all those sweets made at home. In fact, that is also one instance that comes to my mind when I told you, Shividya, I think I cheated, and I had this. So you said, Hema, can you rephrase that sentence? Use a better word. These things, like I told you again, these we just casually use them, and they actually have an impact on your mind and your thinking. So I kind of knew where to stop, not to. indulge too much in it, but at the same time not to deprive myself. Uh, so it's not that, before it was vadam is something that I have told you. It was applams and vadams, like,
Madam, right?
oh yeah, that also I told you. See, yeah, I can never give up on eating vadams. I've told you that, yeah, right at the beginning of the program, I told you white rice, vadam, no, I can't give up. Sorry. So even now, I've not given up. Okay, so when I have to make my bisimila bhat, it has to be in white rice. So if I'm making curry and chawal or veg pulao, it has to be that basmati rice. But then I know how to bring about that balance. So
Correct.
vadam also I know, like I at home I'm actually teased because those the plate that I have, it used to have more of vadam and less of vegetables. Now vadam is somewhere there. It may be there, it may not be there. So it complete change. But actually, I'm not feeling deprived. See, even now while talking to you, I don't feel as if I'm deprived or
You
I'm
had to give up, or you had to give up something.
no, yeah, I never do it. Okay, even if I have vadam, I don't feel like, oh God, today I've had vadam. What do I do? No, it's not that. Okay, fine, I've had it. I've also had good share of my vegetables and my proteins, so it'll take care. So I'm not going to worry so much about. But this change is, you know, I'm I'm able to talk to you so easily about it. But honestly, I don't know how it was possible. Like coming to think of it.
Small changes. We worked on small things, small habits that built on, top of each other. And then finally we have a big transformation that we are talking today about, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about your mental skills, your mindset, beliefs, and self-reflections with the practice of mindfulness. Can you please share with us some skills that you learned during the program and how they are helping you, Hema?
Yeah. Uh, I think mindfulness is something is a magical word again, and like I said, it doesn't just uh, restrict itself only to food, being mindful, or to the movements. There's a lot about when you think about it. Sometimes the mind just at least I was going through that, because of my health issues. Uh, my mind sometimes used to just it used to be that galloping kind of a thing where it was just out of control, and it could just go from here to there. It was just not under my control, and
Hmm.
that actually affected my sleep.
Hmm.
I used to find it very difficult to sleep. So this mindfulness actually, and towards the end of the program, when we were talking about how to see what is under our control, and these things actually help you a lot, because many things we hold on to, it all this creates a lot of negativity in the mind. There is no clarity in thinking, and you take wrong decisions, and then you feel guilty about it. Why did I do it? Why did I say this, or why did I do this?
Hmm.
And so I think that mindful is something, that being mindful about your thoughts too.
Hmm.
So that's why I said it's a transformation. It's not just thinking about your food, and just it doesn't restrict itself to that. You can, if you put in an effort, I think you can extend this to many aspects of your life,
Hmm.
and that I have seen. So now I know, like, whether I really need to do this, whether I even if I even thinking, whether I really need to think about this. Sometimes you think about certain things, and that eats you up from inside.
Hmm. Hmm.
That day, 15 years back something happened. Why should I think about what happened 15 years back? So it's happened. Okay, it's happened for whatever but that being mindful is something. The control over things is just in your hands.
Hmm.
This is something that I really learned from this program.
Oh, beautiful, Hema. You have internalized it so well. And like you said, it doesn't restrict yourself just to food, right? It applies to your thoughts, your emotions. So it brings about that well-rounded transformation. And I remember you mentioning it many times. Srividya, I'm really struggling. The thoughts are going along like a movie, right? You used to say it jumps from one thing to another, and my mind is just wandering a lot. It's like a movie that's playing in front of me. So with the mindfulness practice, about pausing, right? Pausing before you actually did anything, be it with food or with your thought or with your emotions or your actions. If
Yeah.
you paused, you're giving it time to just make some calm and clear decisions, and you're not reacting anymore impulsively, right? You're taking a very proactive decision. So you're responding instead of reacting.
Yeah, and I actually I just want to add one more thing to this. Uh, there was a lot of fear about eating.
Hmm.
No, I am somebody who used to enjoy whatever I ate, but at one point of time, I used to be really scared of eating because how would it react? What would happen to me? Would there be any allergic reaction?
Hmm.
So actually, it brought about a lot of confidence in me.
Hmm.
And like we spoke about food allergies that I could have had.
Hmm.
So it was nothing like that. I think it was more of the mind which was kind of telling me to do certain things and not to do certain. I think it was more of those uh, negative uh, thinking that was probably affecting me.
Hmm.
So that is something that I really got out of it while in this program.
And
Uh,
we resorted to food journaling almost immediately. The first
yes.
call itself, we had you start tracking your food, right?
Yeah.
To understand which foods were causing you allergies in terms of acidity and bloating. And instantly, I mean, you were so consistent with that, Hema, right from the first day. You still have those, the journal, and you keep looking through it, right? To
That's again another win for me because I am somebody who just cannot write. You ask me to speak for hours, I can talk like this for hours together. When you ask me to write, I am like, I can relate it to that home alone child, when he's told, pack your suitcase, he will say, pack my suitcase. It's almost that fear, right? What do I write? So it's been there for so many, and I just cannot write. I prefer probably sending voice messages and talking to somebody over phone than sending these long mails or messages. And when you told me write, I was like, oh god, what do I do about this? And like a small, like a child who had to do his or her homework and report to the teacher, I said, okay, let me start with this. And initially when I started, I think I just wrote about, the app was there which I was using, but when I started writing, I just casually used to write what I ate for breakfast, lunch and dinner, and what all I ate that day. And over time I actually started enjoying it, and it actually kind of became a personal diary for me. And
gamify,
yeah,
right? I really like that.
yeah, so the interesting events that day I started writing about that. And I also felt that it was helping me in one way because number one was to find out if I was allergic to something. That was obviously the reason why we started doing it. And second thing, I started I used to give a tick mark and then okay on days when I have done my practices properly. And on days when I felt I have done a good job, I used to put one smiley and say, I've done a good job today. So today, if you see, if I go through the journal, it's actually very interesting to go to read those pages,
Yeah.
because 6 months, I mean, it has just gone like that. Only when I read those pages do I understand that it's been a nice journey. I mean, a very pleasant journey
Hmm.
with lots of interesting things, a lot of interesting happenings. So it's nice actually. So now it's become a regular habit. So I write my whatever happens that day. I do make a note of it.
So it came out of your limiting belief of writing something down, right? And also that you got a lot of insights from journaling the food that you were eating to understand more about yourself. So basically, from doing this, you learned a lot about yourself, right? That
Yes.
was that was one of the purposes.
Yes.
Let's talk about your meal planning and prepping skills.
So initially, when I started, when you put me in the group of all those super women there, and I was like, a couple of days when I saw the meal pics, I said, okay, I will never be able to do this. And in fact, I think I wrote about it also in the group when you and many other there. You said, no, don't worry, you will get there. So it was very, I mean, the pictures were so beautiful, so creative, and so inviting. And I was like, how can somebody do this? Is it possible? And
But you did.
I did, yes. And all it needed was some amount of planning. And over time, I realized that uh, even if on a given day I'm not able to plan, or things don't happen as per my plan, still I will be able to do it. So
Mm.
that is the kind of change that I went through. So first it was like, I will never be able to do it. What am I going to do? So from that, it came to today, like, okay, today I have not planned anything, or if things are not happening, I know how to take care of it. Nothing to worry, so much to worry about it.
What a beautiful progression, Hema. The growth that you're saying as a person, right? Someone who was very diffident and who felt overwhelmed. By the way, for the audience, I just wanted to say the group that she's talking about is actually a recipe group that I have for all the women who are doing the program. And as part of the Eighth Element family, it's a privilege that I'm extending to all my clients. So we share a lot about recipes and nutrition related facts, and building a nice community of women. So that's what she's talking about. So you realize that you are this diffident person who felt overwhelmed looking at other pictures, and you said, hey, the red flag, what do I do? I don't know how to do this. I'm someone who likes the same kind of food, so what do I do? And so that the group actually helped you stay motivated and try out different things, step out of your comfort zone, and build nice looking meals which are still doable. Like you said, even though the day may not be as great as you would expect it to be, you would still be able to whip up a nice meal, right? So that's where you are right now.
Yes.
Fantastic work, Hema. And let's talk about time management and juggling your priorities. You are a Carnatic musician. Let's talk about your day. What does your day look like?
I start my day with yoga. So that happens, that is something that I don't miss. And then go about doing my work, whatever, cooking and music, and then classes. And then I definitely, I don't miss out on my walks, my evening walks, which I really enjoy. uh, Time management, see, that's what I told you. I always had this planning, because like I told you, we never used to, we hardly eat out. So
Mm.
everything had to be planned, and uh, 3 meals, so accordingly, so and every meal would have some vegetables and all that. But it had a different kind of, I had to do I did a different kind of planning.
Mm.
Now this planning is a little different, but uh, I think that 6 months is a good time where you realize that it is not actually very difficult to manage. See, initially what you're saying is right. Maybe time management, when you talk about initially, when you are clueless as to how to go about doing it, it is a little difficult. It takes more time.
Mm.
But now it is not so. So whether be it so if I have to soak something for the next day, it just happens, okay, I've done it. So
Mm.
it's not a great effort now for me.
Mm.
So that way, I wouldn't say, like, now today, if you ask me, after this chat, I have a class at 7.
Mm.
I have a class. So before that, I have actually prepared whatever I need for dinner, and
Mm.
it's not that I had to put in a lot of effort or anything. I've completed whatever the groundwork is done.
Mm.
So after my class, I will be able to finish my dinner.
Mm.
So
Fantastic.
so it happens. It's very easy to do.
Seamless. You made it integrate so well within your own lifestyle, and you made it work.
Yes,
Right?
yes, and I see. I told you at the very beginning that I would like to keep it very simple, so that I don't have to put in too much effort, and that is actually the best part of this, because I didn't have to, like you said, buy exotic stuff or anything. Whatever I had with that, and I've also included certain things which I've never had, like
Mm.
rajma. You know how I never used to like rajma. Somehow from my mother used to make rajma, but I never used to like having it. And after marriage, of course, I was the one who was taking care, so I never bothered. But when you told me rajma is good, I said, why? Now I really love rajma. I mean, these are all mental blocks that I don't know from where they seep in, and how to get that out. I don't know. So now it is Rajma and that black udad. Uh, these are things that I mean, I never knew that such things exist. That's the first thing. I mean, Rajma I knew, at least the black udad.
Yeah.
Yeah, these things now are like, I enjoy it, and of course my family also enjoys it, which is, I think, a big blessing for me.
You've expanded your options a lot.
Yes.
And here is something that people always ask. Okay, so now that I joined the program, I cannot make separate things for me. You know, I have to eat what my family eats. It will just be an added responsibility for me. And so I will not be able to cook something separate. What was the situation for you? How did you manage it? Was this program like that?
See, I think that is again, it depends on the individual how their family is. But for me, fortunately, at my place, preferences for food are not I mean, it's not that rigid. People are willing to adjust. So that is one thing. That is again a blessing, I think. And I never actually, right from day one, they ate whatever I cooked. So it's always been like that. I am the one who decides. I mean, this is what I need to cook, and they've had that. But portions, yes. When they saw me first, working on the portions, they were like, "Is this really enough for you?" Is something that they had in mind. That is something that they were wondering whether it is. So I said, no, no, I can take care of it. Let me handle it. But I mean, for me at least, it wasn't an issue, uh, as far as I know, because they've always had what I cooked, and they actually found many things interesting, because
Mm,
I was able to bring about subtle changes in the diet,
mm.
and which they also started enjoying.
So
And
you
slowly,
helped improve their palate while you were doing the
yes,
program.
yes. And when they saw changes in me, they realized that, this is really helping me. So that is when they also realized that, the proteins, why it is needed. So this is something that we never talk about, right? I mean, we talk about proteins, but not the portions, how much protein is needed. So these things, I think my family also, they kind of started understanding that how important it is to do all this. Some of the things, see, like I said, I can't, I don't force them. Like millets is something that I love, but they may not be able to have millets. So I'm okay with it. So I make millets for me, but I see to it that they have what they want. But
Mm.
the main course that you see is the same.
Same.
So if I'm making dal, so dal will be there. The vegetables that I make, that is always, so one vegetable always used to be there. Now it is two vegetables, and two different colored vegetables. That is very important. So it's not the same green color, or it's not the same color. So one has to be either, it can be multicolored, and one green, or whatever. So it has to be of two different colors, basically.
Again, mindfulness, right? When you're planning your meal and
Yeah.
preparing it.
But
Uh,
that has helped, yeah, because I think my son also started enjoying it, because otherwise, it is always, they go by, see, and at the same time, if you see, I actually never, like I said, I never deprived myself or others of anything. I've sent you pictures of pizza,
yeah.
of pasta, everything, but the way I make it has changed. So today, if you, I never use more. I mean, I'm somebody who hardly uses these processed food. So today, if you see my sauce, pasta sauce would have tomato, yellow pumpkin, and carrots in it.
Mm.
Sauce, the base would be
Yeah.
that. So there is nothing that and actually, I asked them, do you really feel? Does it taste like the outside food that you have?
Mm.
So they sometimes say, it actually tastes better. It has come to that. See, I think it's all, we think that it tastes good, whatever we take, but when you make it at home, and when you make it simple, actually, this doesn't need, you don't have to put in so much effort to make these things at home.
Yeah.
they actually started enjoying it. So it was more of and participation was also there, right, where you can ask what they need, uh, and accordingly you manage how to satisfy everybody.
Perfect.
So that really helped.
Yeah, I was really surprised when you sent me the pizza recipe. I mean, the pizza pictures, pasta pictures from a typical South Indian meal to how much you had expanded your palate. And you are talking about all the women putting out great meal pictures. They were going gaga over your bread and the other baking preparations. It was amazing, Hema, the kind of effort that you took to make that. It's brilliant. And so let's talk about your relationship with the weighing scale and food and your body. Like, how did that change?
Like everybody else, I also had a number in mind which I thought I had to achieve that. You know, somewhere you read about all this BMI and all this, and you're stuck to one number which you say, okay, I have to beat this. Anywhere, one or two above that, then I'm fat, so I'm overweight. So that's the feeling, and yeah, and like I told you, many people also do the job of a mirror, and they tell you, "Oh, your foot on weight." So it is kind of, they don't understand what the other person is actually undergoing.
Mm.
And first thing that I learned before even entering the program, that's why I told you I'm not going to care about the scales. I want to be feel healthy, because that is something that I had forgotten,
Mm.
right? Because I was so dependent on medicines, and I had just finished that course of medicines that I told you, the last doctor that I visited.
Ayurveda. Ayurveda.
Yeah. So 6 months I had just finished that, and I was already having that fear that how would my body react once I've stopped the medicines.
Mm.
So first thing I told you, I'm not going to bother about the scales. And today, even today, if you ask me, uh, I'm actually whatever the weight that I have lost, 5 kilos. Actually, that doesn't. It's not. I don't. It's a win, definitely a win.
Mm.
But I would put it at the end of the list. So for me, I think uh, feeling healthy, feeling positive.
Mm.
See, it's not that I'm not going to have challenges. It's
Mm.
not that I'm not going to have any issues in my life, whether it is my health or anything.
Mm.
But I have the confidence that I will be able to fight it.
Mm.
Okay, so that is something that I learned, because this weight thing sometimes it really pulls you down, and I feel your confidence also comes down, because first thing that you do is at least I've also done this, comparing our comparing yourself with others.
Yeah.
When you read or hear about somebody losing 10 kilos in 2 months, you're like, oh my god, how are they able to do it? We don't understand that problems can be different, circumstances can be different, support system can be different, and more than that, we don't see the effort that that person has put in. When
Mm.
you read uh, oh, what kind of effort that person has put, that also we don't know, right? That the person might have given 100% and probably reached there,
Mm.
which I may not be able to do
Mm.
given my circumstances. So I decided that I am not going to even in fact, even this chat, I told you, I would want people to become take their first step towards better health,
Mm.
not about losing weight. That will happen. First, you concentrate on your health, see how it is, see the internal changes that are happening. That's why I said, introspection is really important, where you start and we set this goal,
Mm.
this big goal that I have to lose these many kilos in um, and in that, what happens is you forget the
Journey.
journey that you're taking, and when you reach there, probably you're so saturated that you're like, okay, fine, it has happened, so what's next? I think you reach that stage, right? So here, so I honestly find when people tell me, yes, you have lost, yeah, I have lost weight, fine. That it doesn't, it's a feel good factor. I mean, fitting into your old clothes and losing weight, seeing the scales, difference in the scales, yes, it is a feel good factor. But more than that, I think we should think about other changes that are happening, and the confidence with which you can face challenges.
Mm.
That is something that we should really think about than just the weight alone.
Fantastic, Emma. Thank you so much for sharing this perspective. I think it's so useful, especially in this day and age where people are looking for quick results and are very scale oriented. Like we talked about, weight loss is an outcome of your behavior. So let's focus on the behaviors that is needed, and then let's leave the results to the consistency that with which you're actually putting in your efforts, right? So that is what is going to get you the progress. And I really liked what you said about introspection, right? So one of the skills that we worked on was notice and name.
Notice and name, yes.
Yeah, right. So how did that help you, Hema?
That is again, it is not even, it's just not about food, it's about other things. Like see, I am somebody who generally I didn't have much of cravings. So if I am like, if I have to avoid, I will avoid. It's not that I have a very I mean, great cravings or anything like that. So this notice and name, main thing is, for me it was mainly about emotions.
Mm.
uh, that is where it helped, because when you said, sit in that discomfort for some time and just see why you are going through something like this, whether it is because of some physical thing that is happening or whatever it is, just it actually helped me more than the food aspect. I would say about the emotional aspect.
Mm.
This notice and name really helped, because to sit and when you think about it, uh, and you give it some time, that deep breathing that you do, it really helps,
Mm.
where your mind actually on its own, it becomes calm, and you understand that again, many things are not under your control, and you just let go, which helps you big time, because these things definitely affect the health.
Health and the relationships with our loved ones too, right? I mean,
Yeah,
sometimes we get irritated or frustrated or not understanding what is the root cause of it, right?
yeah,
So this notice and name and sitting with the discomfort allows you to just sit and analyze your own thoughts and emotions and come to a conscious decision as to what
yes,
you want to, how you want to respond instead of react.
yes,
The other thing is, of course, the mindset that we talked about, proactive mindset, long term mindset again, right? Not thinking of it as a short term solution, but something that is going to help you in the long term. Positivity and focus is something that we focused on as well. So, what kind of an effect did the program have on your family, Sudarshan and Arun?
they started noticing a lot of changes. They did. That is definitely there. And like I told you, my personality was undergoing a lot of changes. I mean, it's not that on purpose, but constant fear was there about a lot of things. That insecure feeling was definitely there, right? Because when physically you're undergoing something, and you actually don't know what is causing that, uh, so that feeling was, I mean, it was pretty evident in my behavior. So, and slowly they started noticing that I was becoming more cheerful. That is something that they started. I had, at one point of time, I think I'd forgotten to smile. So
Oh my God.
now you know how much I smile.
Yeah, I mean, that is like the biggest thing that I'm missing right now, Hema. You're off the program. I'm sure I'll keep in touch, but
Yeah,
I cannot imagine what you have gone through to the
yeah,
extent that you had to go through all of those issues, and that your family was affected by it. And now they see you as a very positive person, cheerful person, confident individual who is
yes,
so capable of handling your own challenges on your own without being dependent on others. What a powerful position that is.
yeah.
Um, and of course, they also started enjoying everything that you made in your kitchen. So that is another plus.
Yeah, and my son is there to remind me about you. So if I go and pick up a sweet, he would say, "Amma Srividya auntie." So that's the first thing that he would say. Then I would tell him, no, I will manage, you keep quiet.
You have the skills and techniques to handle it.
Because he will keep reminding me about you. So if I'm going to indulge in something, he would immediately say, Amma, Shividya auntie. That's the first thing that he would say.
So what would you say are some of the breakthrough moments during the program?
See, again, if you talk about breakthrough moments, there are significant breakthrough moments, but I would also like to talk about the small breakthrough moments which probably led to that. Like example, like I told you, when I started, it was very difficult. I thought, it's difficult to plan, but that happened. So these also are important breakthroughs according to me, because that is what helped me to uh, uh, fight certain bigger challenges that I had. Like I think 2.5 months into the program, I went through this herpes zoster virus. I was so, had I not been in the program, first thing I would have panicked. So because I wouldn't know what was causing that, and more than that, I would not know what to eat and what do I do about it. But here, since I was already 2 months or more into the program, I was confident that I'm giving my body what it needs. Okay, so maybe it is not going to any changes, or it's no miracle is going to happen immediately. So I have to give my body the time to heal. That is very important. It's not, no miracle is going to happen. It's not going to happen just in a day. So let me give, I've been patient for so many years. I've been having medicines. So let me be a little more patient, and I'm not going to panic. I'll go about, and I went, I, I, I did all my practices despite the, the pain that I had. So I did my yoga and all, like I told you, I just didn't want to venture out, because since at this time I didn't want to expose myself to any kind of infection or anything. So I said, inside the house, I saw to it that I moved well, so that I don't. That for me was a big breakthrough. And the biggest win for me is, of course, me be able to drink water now. Now, this problem is a very unique and strange problem that I have been probably having it since I was a teenager. I don't even know when it started. So when it started, actually, it was, if there is a long time gap between two meals, say more than 1.5 hours or so, and if I drink water in that, my body would react in a very strange way, and it would start with a shooting pain from my right hand fingers, and it would just complete uneasiness, which would keep moving towards my neck, and followed, this would be with complete uneasiness, nausea, breathlessness, everything. i I still don't know what was causing that. And this episode will typically last for 5 to 10 minutes, and it would end up, with just blood gushing up to my face, and I would just sweat, and people around me would think I'm probably going through some heart attack or something like that. That is how it used to be. And as a teenager, I was, and funnily, my body wouldn't react like this to these aerated and carbonated drinks. Right? Yeah, all these cola, yeah, all the sodas and all that. So as a teenager, when I was really naive and knew nothing about it, I said, okay, so I'm not able to drink water. If I'm feeling thirsty, I'll have this or these packed fruit juices. And until I think one day my sister gave me a big sermon about how good these things are. So I stopped doing it. So then, I used to either feel. If I were thirsty, I would probably drink water and go through this, or not drink. I think 3 to 4 glasses of water is what I used to have in a day.
Remember?
Yes. Okay. So this is how my body, and it was very difficult to figure out what was causing this. Once, when I was going through this, my parents actually rushed me to a nearby hospital to check, get an ECG done, because they thought it's some heart related problem. Nothing sure. So many doctors I've consulted for this. One doctor, in fact, he wrote a series of tests, And finally, he told me, look, if I'm not able to infer anything from these results, then I would probably have to put you under a psychiatrist, because, he thought maybe it's some kind of a phobia or something that I was going through. And I did go for one sitting with a psychiatrist too. And so I never knew like what is happening. And uh, like what cannot be cured has to be endured. That was what was happening. And 2.5 months into this program again, I started noticing that the severity of reaction on drinking water was coming down. So this was a big motivation for me. I said I should try and do something about this, because I've been through this for so many years, and I have to get out of it. And I think by the time we came to the practice of hydration, I was completely, yeah, I was ready for it. And now today, you know how much water I drink, right? I mean, this is a big win.
You are a coaching session. You're constantly sipping water.
Yeah, even now I want to drink water. I'm constantly talking, so I'm not able to drink water. So the thing is, see, as I say, you realize only when probably you don't have it. This might sound very, see, like food. If you say if you're allergic to some food, so you can probably avoid it or find a substitute or an alternative for that. But water is not something like that, right? So for me, this is the biggest win, Srividya. I mean, that is why I told you, weight loss, yes, definitely. But these wins, what I mean, how do you? If you ask me to put it on a scale, what do I give this? You tell me. What would you give, or others? What would they give for this?
Improvement in health and your energy levels and ability
Yes.
to drink water. I mean, that's huge. So talk about the two magic words that you learned, Hema, or what stuck in your head about this program.
Transformation and mindfulness, right? These two words, yes. I told you, this is complete transformation. I mean, that's why like I told at the very beginning, this is not just a typical diet program where you have something for a few months and you shed some weight, and it's not that. This is something and it is not limited to food alone. That is also there. There is a lot of other changes, internal changes that happen. And basically, I have become more confident to face challenges. I think that is what it is, to put
Full
it
marks for
very
that.
simple. So it's not that challenges are not going to be there, issues are not going to be there, but I'm confident that by God's grace, I will definitely be able to do it. That confidence I didn't have, but now I have.
Fantastic. So how is your energy levels, strength and fitness now? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So energy level is definitely much better than what it used to be. There was a time when I used to get up in the morning and say, okay, one more day in my life, let me go about doing my routine. That was the state I was in. Today, it's not that. Today, I'm very happy. I'm even if on days when it's really busy, like today has been a kind of a hectic day, but I mean, it really doesn't bother me so much. No, all it needs is a little planning, how to plan, how to just go about doing it, and just take it easy. That is something that I have learned. So energy level is definitely better. My yoga asanas, which in the middle, I used to struggle to do many of the yoga asanas, and uh, I used to do it, but I knew that I was not doing it perfect, and and it was a challenge for me to do it. Now I'm able to do it. Walk. Walk was a big struggle for me at one point of time. Today I'm able to climb 3 stairs. So it's kind of uh, very easy for me. And like I told you the other day, it's fun, missing one step. And
You're so happy you sent me that message. I'm skipping stairs while I'm climbing. And
and
talk
I've started playing badminton. Yeah. So that's become part of my routine now. So I play with my son, of course, and all the kids in the building. And kids are like bundle of energy they are, and when you play with them, it's a wonderful feel. I used to play badminton long back, but I couldn't do all these things basically. It was not that I didn't want to.
You focus on, right? Your health and,
Yeah, physically it was difficult for me to do it or do all these things. So now it is almost like a routine. So I enjoy being, I just enjoy playing with these kids, and their energy level is like somewhere there. And to match with that, I of course don't cannot match with that, but I, at least I'm able to enjoy it. So that
even to
itself is
keep
a
up
win.
with them is a big challenge. So, you're enjoying this healthier and fitter version of yourself. I'm so happy
Yes.
to hear that. So let's talk about your profession, right? I remember initially you had shared that when you're sitting down to practice or something, like when you're exploring ragas, you didn't have that confidence and the throat did not kind of cooperate, like the breath
Okay.
control and things like that. How has that improved?
Uh, to a large extent, yes. Physically, there are changes. I'm uh, much more. I find it comfortable. I'm not feeling. There's no strain kind of a thing when I'm singing. But again, I would again relate it to my emotion, because that open-mindedness was not there.
Mm,
You are in a kind of. And how do I put it? Like, you are not open-minded. You think that you don't want to take up challenges. You
mm,
just want to be in your comfort zone. That is exactly what I was trying to tell you. You want to be in your comfort zone. You don't want to venture out of that.
mm,
That is something that I have started doing now.
mm,
Just sing, just do it for my own happiness. I'm not doing it for anybody else. For my own happiness, how much am I going to sing out, how better am I going to become.
mm.
So that is something that, yes, I am noticing, and people around me are noticing more than that.
What a beautiful feeling that is. You know. So we tend to place a lot of importance on the scale number, and we go chasing after it. And after we reach a certain number, like you said, we say, oh wow, okay, so now that I'm here, what is the next thing? Let me go after another number, right? So we forget to recognize the journey and the process it's taken us to get there, because only when you recognize the journey, you're going to know how you're going to maintain the weight after that, right? um, so there is more to health and lifestyle than weight loss and the number on that weighing scale. So how do you personally define progress? What keeps you happy now?
The very fact that I'm healthy is, I'm happy about that. That's the main thing. That is what is really keeping me happy, because um, that is something that I had lost. See, like I said at the very beginning, unave marundu. I enjoy every bite that I eat now, which
Mm,
I was not able to. And there was a constant fear as to what will happen the next moment. And so today, happiness for me is, I think, better health. If you ask me to define happiness, I would say better health. And given this situation that we are in, I think good health is something, is a big blessing,
mm,
and nothing more to ask, actually. Other things, I think, are our own perspective, and it's that.
mm.
So you can have it, or even if you have it, it is okay. But health is not something that you can really let go of and just say, okay, it's okay if I'm not healthy. You can't say that.
Mm.
You have to be healthy.
And it also takes consistent effort to do it, right?
Definitely.
It's not like the number on the scale that once you have it, you have it. It's like you have
True.
to consistently put in the efforts to go after that. So very nicely said, Hema. So what is your feedback about the app that we used to track your habits, the lessons that came out, and the progress that we tracked?
Initially, I was making good use of the app, where I used to report to you every day. Then I think slowly after that, my response became so. But my journal was there.
Yeah.
I was noting everything in my journal. But yes, the app was, till the time I was reading all the lessons that you had sent. It was like, the first lesson that I learned was why to include colored vegetables.
I know.
So, I told you, this is like, oh, why should I do this? So immediately I went to the app and, read those lessons as to why it is needed. So then it struck me that, oh, there's so much to it. It's not as simple as we think. So that way, that app was very useful. And it kind of, it's a commitment, right? At least at the very beginning for me, it was. that
Hmm.
I had to report every night before going to bed. I had to tell Srividya that I've done my work. I've fulfilled all the practices. I've kept up with them. So it really helped that way. That app.
And it was easy to navigate for you.
Yeah, it was. It's not that difficult. You
And
just need to figure out how to go about doing it, and then it's not
even
that
after
difficult.
the program, those lessons are available to you, Hema. So
Yeah,
anytime
yeah,
you can brush up any questions or
yeah. I should.
you.
Hey, but I tell you, I am somebody who really likes, the practical lessons than the theory, because practically when you experience, I think that is a better thing, right? Than just
More
reading through something.
about it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you had a vision about how this program would help you before you joined, right? Did you expect to see the kind of holistic results that you see now? And how would you communicate the value of the program to somebody who, if they were to reach out to you?
Uh, Honestly, holistic, I kind of didn't have an idea, because I thought this is towards nutrition and better health. But I kind of only say 3 4 months into the program, I started realizing that it is not just the food. It's got a lot to do with your attitude, your thinking, and everything. And definitely, I think people, I mean, if somebody is interested, I think they should go for it. Like I said before, first step towards good health, and that health includes your physical, your mental, and your emotional health. So that includes all three. So that is why I said you should look at it. Now I have understood that yes, it is holistic and it is not just food. And that is why I said I would like to talk more about the other experiences, the other wins that I think are very important for me personally, than just the weight loss that has happened. So,
Absolutely. Very, very nicely put, Hema. Thank you so much. Your internal
oh, right. So, no problem. Huh?
Hema, are you there?
Yes, yes.
Hey. Sorry, my
No problem.
power went off.
No problem.
Okay. Okay, so let's do some time travel, Hema. If you were to go back in time to July and speak with yourself with all the knowledge that you have right now, what would you say to yourself?
Probably would just say, Hema, you did a good job, and give a pat on my back.
That's it. So, what did you like best about working with me as your coach?
You are a bundle of energy, and you're always smiling. And I remember even when I think I had a call when you were not well, you were going through problems, but still you saw
Corona.
to it.
Yeah, I had Corona.
Yeah, and still you said, Hema, at least, in fact, I told you it's okay if you don't call, but you were like, no, no, let's not make a video call, but at least let's make a phone call and just discuss what's happening. Problem?
Hema?
Yes.
Very sorry. Again, I
No,
lost
no
all.
problem at all. No problem at all.
So you said you liked the positivity and the energy that I carried in our coaching conversations. Is that right?
And no use of negative terms. That is something that I really learned from you, because uh, that makes a difference. I think only when you experience it, you will probably be able to understand what it is.
Thank you so much, Hema. Really appreciate it. What would you say to the women who are considering to join the program but are thinking twice to invest towards their health?
Definitely go for it. I mean, there is nothing to think about too much about it, unless you really have some serious problem about it, whatever it is. So uh, I mean, we invest so much in our dresses, our saris, our jewelry, which is all mostly for the outer look,
Hmm.
which will probably get us some compliments and whatever. But more than that, I think internal happiness happens only when you are healthy. How much ever you strive, how much ever you put on a makeup or whatever you do, how much ever you dress up, unless you are happy from inside, it's very difficult for our own self and also for people around you. That is something that I've really learned this lesson, because only when you are happy you are able to convey that to people around you.
Mm.
When you feel low, when you feel bad,
Mm.
you may not, it's not about just, it's not even reacting, but just the very fact that you might, I had become a very quiet person.
Mm.
See, I'm talking so much. You know how much I talk. Look at our chat. It's gone for more than an hour now. So I'd become a very quiet person because I didn't feel like talking. It's not that, because there's so much in the mind. Like,
Mm.
why am I going through this? What's happening? And how am I going to get out of it? More than why I'm going through this.
Mm.
So I think you should. I won't say advice, but from my own experience, I would say just go for it. This is, I think, and like I told you the other day, I saw the first step that you take towards something is always, I feel, it's big. The steps after that seem very small. So this is the first bigger step towards your health. So go for it with that mindset. Go for it with a little confidence in yourself, and of course trust in your coach, which definitely helps, because when you have someone who is you can, when you, if you have you, if you're falling, you have somebody to fall back upon. That is such a great feeling. So if I have challenges, somebody is there to help me out.
Mm.
Isn't that a blessing, right? That's a big blessing, right? Somebody is going to help you and tell you, okay, you have this issue, let me sort it out, let me see how I can help you. That is a great feeling. So I think just go for it with the attitude that you're going towards better health. Don't bother about the scale or all these things, and see how you start feeling happy from inside, which is very important. And once you start noticing those changes, I think you yourself will realize challenges are going to be there. It's not that it's not going to there are going to be challenges while in the program and after the program, but let's face it. I mean, that is how we have to be, right? So instead of feeling bad that I'm having these challenges, I think we should just go for it. That's it.
Fantastic message, Hema. I wish and I hope all the women out there who are watching us are going to take this advice from you. Value your health the most than the number on the scale, and see how it reflects in within, creating that happiness within you, and how it is spreading that joy and happiness with other people around you and improving your relationship. And I think that is most important. How you feel from within, feeling good, and looking good in terms of healthy, right? When you go through these diet programs, I see a lot of people having under eye circles, and feeling
Exactly.
looking emaciated, and almost like they have not had any food. So that is not what this program is all about. The happiness shows. Look at the way Hema is glowing. Her complexion, and she's smiling more. Can you
Uh,
put a value to that? The feeling of being healthy. Can you put a value to that? So please think twice. Please think a lot about what she has said. So Hema was extremely consistent and committed to the program. She showed up every single day, even if it meant showing up imperfectly. She openly communicated her struggles and challenges so that we could collaborate and figure out what would work. So thank you for the trust and confidence in me, Hema. That's all is needed, ladies. Showing up and putting in your work, however imperfect it may be, focusing on small wins, learning some skills and strategies that is going to help you navigate challenges, and staying mindful about your thoughts, actions, and behaviors to make this a sustainable transformation for yourself. So it is the mission of this program to empower women and help you get into the driver's seat of your lives, feeling fully capable, strong and resilient, with full control over your environment, your behaviors, your habits, your thoughts, actions, and emotions, thereby helping you build a healthy relationship with your bodies, food, and people around you. So I repeat, this is not a diet program or a fitness program. This program helps you become a stronger, healthier, and a better version of yourself using a mindset and habit-based approach. If you have any questions more about this program, please don't hesitate to reach out. Hema, thank you so much for sharing your insights and valuable time. I really apologize for the couple of power cuts that we had. But I'm
No problem.
very happy that you stayed on.
Again, a challenge. So we faced it. No issues.
Fantastic. So thank you to all the people who spent their time on Sunday to watch this live chat with Hema. This is Srividya Gauri and Hemamalini signing off, reminding you to
eat well, move daily, stay happy, and keep it really simple.
simple. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.